Hello students, this is me Saurav Parwai. I am making this recording for the students of class 10 for the subject of social science. Students, this is the part 2 of the video that was uploaded earlier on economic development chapter. Okay, so this is the part 2 of the video for class 10. But before we go on to discussion of the further parts, that is before we go on to discussion of this part 2 lecture, let's see what is there included in the syllabus. This is the revised course contents for class 9 and 10 issued by Board of Secondary Education Assam. So as we don't have time, just let's find where social science is. So this is for class 9, this is for class 10. Okay, let's see what is included in economic development chapter. So this is money and banking. Here we have economic development. Okay, so we have studied about economic growth. Economic growth is done. Okay, and then economic development is done. Then human development is also completed. Then we have economic planning. We have studied about economic planning. Yes. About Niti Aayog, yes, we have studied it in the previous video. In case if you have not watched it, please feel free to watch. You'll get the link in the description. Democratic planning, yes, we have learned about democratic planning. So we have liberalization, privatization and globalization that will cover in this particular video. Okay, so let's start the class now. So this particular class is on economic development. This is the part 2 lecture. Before we go on to the main lecture, please set the quality to 480 pixel at least and watch the video in full screen. The first concept is liberalization. What is the concept is actually? Economic liberalization means lessening the degree of state control. State control means the government control in the economic system of a country. Prior to 1991, the permit and license policy of the government was the main instrument for the government control in the economy. So the government used permits and license policy in order to control the economy. And as a part of the economic reforms that took place in 1991, the government control has been lifted in a number of industries, except liquor, that is wine and all these things, cigarette, I hope you know the meaning of cigarette, hazardous chemicals, that is harmful chemicals, industrial explosives, those substances that are capable of exploding. Okay, those industrial substances that are capable of exploding, then electrical equipment, and then drugs. Drugs means the medicines that we use for these industries. For these industries, a license is required. Except these industries, no license is required in order to open a business. Okay. So let's read it again. Is all links. So we have liquor, except liquor, cigarette, hazardous chemicals, industrial explosive, and electrical equipments plus drugs. And this is not an exhaustive list; it continues. Okay. So except these sectors, all other sectors are open for private sectors. Now, the government has reserved certain sectors for itself. The first one is defense, second one is atomic power generation, and then rail transport. Rail transport, I hope you know it, that is IRCTC. And these three sectors are reserved for public sector. This means the government controls these particular three sectors. One more thing that you should know, that prior to 1991, foreign banks were not allowed to enter Indian banking sector. It's only after the reforms that took place in 1991, foreign banks were allowed to enter Indian economic sector, that is economic banking sector. Next is privatization. In very simple words, students, privatization means converting a public sector unit, public sector means a government controlled unit, into a private unit, that is a unit or an industry or a farm, you call it anything, a company. Okay, converting such a company from a government sector, this is from the government control to private control. Private control means that is not controlled by the government but the people like us, that is common people. So this is the simple meaning of privatization, converting of a public sector unit into a private sector unit. Now the privatization, as you can see, this is the definition. Privatization is opening up of the public sector units to private sector. The industrial policy government of India 1900 has opened how many public sector units? 9 public sector units to private sector. Again, you may have, if you are aware of the current happenings, then you may have heard about the LIC IPO. LIC IPO. LIC is a government controlled company. Okay, it is not a company actually, it is a corporation. Okay. So what is the meaning of IPO? It means that initial public offer. The full form of IPO is initial public offer. This means the government is selling a part of LIC to private people, that is people like us, and this process is known as disinvestment. Got it? So disinvestment is a form of privatization. The next concept is globalization. Globalization means allowing foreign companies to enter a particular economy without any restrictions. And in technical definition, the definition is globalization means the integration of the economy of a nation with the economies of the rest of the world. The use of information technology has speeded up the process of globalization. And what is the meaning of information technology? The technology that we are using at present to take this particular class, that is information technology. Globalization creates competitive environment. This is for sure, because if this particular economy is closed and there are people, there are different companies who are here and they are selling their products. Just suppose there are two different companies that are selling the same product. So these two particular firms will compete with each other to provide the best quality at the cheapest rate. But when other firms from the foreign enter this particular market, that is the particular economy, the competition will rise. Just suppose two foreign companies, they have come to this particular economy, this one, and they are also selling the same product. Now this particular person who had earlier had to compete with only one of its competitor, now he has to compete with 1, 2 and 3 competitors, and the same for others. So the competition gets increased, and in this way these people will gain extra market, and these people who are already in the economy, they will get a chance to improve the quality of their products. In case they improve the quality of their product, they will be able to export it to other countries. So in this case we can see that although these people will be stressed at initial age, but if they can improve, they can gain more by exporting their products to other countries. Now this competition among these 4, there are only 2 firms, now there are 4 different firms. Because of this competition among these firms, the price of the product will drop. So this will benefit the consumers also. So this is how a competitive environment benefits both the consumers and the producers. Now, as we have seen about the benefits of the globalization, there are certain demerits or harms of globalization. Okay, and that is here. A nation must protect its economic sovereignty. Sovereignty means freedom, economic freedom, language, literature and culture. Thus, it should be possible to reap the benefits of globalization without sacrificing the national interest. So this is the end of this particular lecture. Hope if you have any doubt, please feel free to comment in the comment section. Thank you.